Hello there, folks. Welcome back to A&E. There's an injury crisis at Thames. Our promotion is in jeopardy, and you're here for it. Welcome back to AFC Thames. Let's get going. Oh, dear. Hello there, folks. Welcome back then to AFC Thames. It's me, DoctorBenjyFM. Good to see you. Hope I find you very, very well. Now, before we get to our games today and run you through the fixtures, we've just had RodeNT Day today, right now. Dylan Highland, apparently, is one of the most gifted players to come through the youth ranks for AFC Thames in recent years. I've not looked at him yet, so I thought this would be a good way to start. I was just continuing forwards to the Blackpool game, and suddenly, here we are. So, we've got a few players that are decent. I should say, obviously, I'm in the way of a lot of the average. Look, it's not nearly as impressive as you'd want it to be. No, so don't worry about it. Dylan Highland, then. Let's see. Please be quite good. The potential is quite exciting. Let's take a look then. 3, 2, 1, and the reveal. Oh man, I built that up as well. For heaven's sake. Looks like he might be quite a good winger more than a striker. That crossing and dribbling at 16, not too bad. 14 passings, decent as well. And he looks like he could be relatively pacey going forwards. I wish I hadn't made a big deal out of this, if I'm honest. I mean, goalkeeper there. Onyenka. Ogwu, I mean, he looks better. Goalkeeper. We've got a player called Luke Little. I mean, what's not to love? I've not got a son, though. So as far as I'm concerned, none of this intake matter. All right, we've got Blackpool coming up tomorrow. So as we continue forward, yes, we've had an injury crisis. There are some big names with some big injuries. And I don't know what the team looks like for this Blackpool game with those injuries. So we're gonna find out together how the team looks moving forward. As you can see there, these are the players injured then. We've got Fitzpatrick out for 4 weeks to 2 months. It's a big injury for a man on a big contract. And that dislocated shoulder is doing him no favours. And then the real problem, you can kind of see it down here, right? You know who's out. First, the main man, Phillips, out for 12 days to 3 weeks. He's already been out for a little while already. He's been out for 3 days so far, but he's out then for an extended period of time at a crunch point in the season. Whether he'll be back for the end of the season, I don't know. There's not many games left to go. And then Cabbage is also out, sports hernia, 4 to 5 weeks. Again, has already spent a little bit of time out already, 7 days. So his recovery even longer than Phillips, which means that system-wise, we've had to come away from the 2 up top system. It doesn't really make sense to play it and to switch back then to playing this system. We've also just recently got an injury to Luke Bell, who is a slightly better goalkeeper than Canon, so has played pretty regularly for me. In terms of form, it's been a bit of a rollercoaster, really. Draws are not an option for us right now. As you can see, some of the results that we've had then, it's been mixed. Of course, the 1-0 defeat recently to Crewe, then a 5-0 win over Mansfield. Bromley then beat us 2-1, a game that we probably should have won, but typically for us, a lot of yellow cards, and McBride got himself sent off, so a game that we really should have won. We are racking up the yellow cards. I'll show you that in a minute because it's quite funny. 3 wins on the bounce, though. Barnet, York City, Shrewsbury, all beaten, so 9 points in the bag there before a recent defeat to Chester in a game that, again, kind of got away from us. 2 goals that we could have scored that weren't allowed. Then Fitzpatrick got injured. Again, a host of yellow cards. It was a chaotic game, really, that we lost down to a penalty in the with 10 minutes to go, which is obviously not ideal. We've been fined for that. Speaking of fined, let's just move on from that immediately. But I mentioned I'd show you the yellow cards because we got a lot of red cards last year. This season, we are top of the charts once again, so that's impressive, but it's not nearly as hilarious as our yellow card situation, where we've got 32 yellow cards more than anyone else. We have Northampton's yellow cards, so they've got 28. You can't quite see it, but 28. We've got 106. So, look, well, we've long been the lowest wage in the league, although we're not the lowest wage in the league right now. We are 11th wage in the. It's not as good. It's not catchy. So we're bidding that off immediately. Look, we do win a lot of tackles. We win the most amount of tackles. So that's why get stuck in is useful. And look, we're doing well in the league, so I'm not going to change it, am I? But fouls made, we also give away. It's 280 fouls more. But we've got the most clean sheets as well. So look, you win some, you lose some. Highest shots on target ratio, 2, joint with someone else, but still we're up there. Most clear cuts chances created, 8 more than anybody else. So while you might say, Ben, your discipline might cost you at times, fair. Equally, we are third currently in the league table. Not top anymore. Chesterfield and Oxford then have taken over us, and now the battle between ourselves and what feels like Wrexham is on. And let's face it, Oxford not out of that yet, quite yet. Anyway, there's some big games to come at the end of the season. None against the big sides around us, fortunately, but we play Blackpool and Hartlepool today in a battle of the pools. Let's see then, can we get 2 good results? We need them, and looking at the league table, we might just get them. Right then, into the games we go. So team-wise for this first game then, Canon's going to play. We're going to play Ralph McBride, Andrews and MacArthur at left back. Tuttle comes in next to Zealand Shannon, who I'm going to be honest, Zealand still hasn't got a face. I mean, Univar's delighted, and no one else is. He's not playing very well, if I'm going to be honest. With that in mind, he's going to come out of the team. Ellison's going to play right side. We might bring him on. Ellison's going to play on the right-hand side. Latham's going to play on the left, with McKinney playing behind Cooney up front, who's going to be our main man right now. Good acceleration, decent pace. You might remember we had a player called Edwards, who was another striker for us. That loan was recalled because we weren't playing him. Shout out to the form of Philip and of David. So, you know, it happens. Striker-wise then, we are pretty limited. Simon Lay is one of our options. And, of course, Gabriel Jesus, who bizarrely has been doing absolute bits for under 23s. So good for him. Right, let's get into the first game then. Blackpool it is. Admin out the way. Now it's time for wins or continuing to match day. I've got that's gone poorly from me there. So when I say an injury crisis, I mean 3 of our best 5 players are injured at a crucial time. It's not great, is it? I mean, there's weak gaps between games. They might be back for the final few games. But yeah, I'd rather have been promoted before that, to be honest. And now we're third in the league. That's where things get a little bit stressful for me. Regardless of that, though, look, let's go into this game. Let's hope for good things. And if we get the win, then all of a sudden we can start looking upwards and stop worrying about whatever Wrexham are doing. Today's game, we will be worrying about what Wrexham do. I've also opened the window today, so we've got some natural light coming in. I sort of need to even it out on this side. There we go, look. Strange. I've gone for the orangey glow on this side because I like to give myself a bit of a tan. I should probably go for the whiter version because it's a bit more in sync with... Shall we get on with it? Wrexham then are playing Shrewsbury Town. Oxford United are playing Exeter, and Chesterfield playing Crawley. So sides there that are down the bottom, so they should be getting wins. As should we. Blackpool also down there. All right, we've run you through the team. There's little else to say. Actually, Barras is back after suspension. So maybe Barras comes back in. I think he does come back in. Yeah, sorry viewers, something I missed. McKinney, though, could come onto the bench. Luke Bell, with that injury, is not going to come on as a goalkeeper. And when do you ever need a goalkeeper anyway? Not very often. All right, then, here we go. Thames versus Blackpool. Blackpool not wearing their orange, which has annoyed me a little bit to begin with. We are, of course, wearing our familiar red and white kits as Blackpool, once again, bringing a fine array of away support to Custom House, which I'm all for. So Renatino has picked it up and finds MacArthur. Back to Tuttle, back to MacArthur, and the ball forward to Latham. And now, of course, not playing with those 2 strikers. How will that affect our goal scoring? Of course, Ellison was one of the best goal scorers we had in the whole team early on in the season, and he sort of fell away a little bit. Again, had some injury issues as Latham, oh my goodness me, Josh Latham rockets one in from the edge of the penalty area, just over a minute gone, and Thames lead. A sensational strike as well, goodness me. You love to see that. We work it quite neatly on the edge, but I never thought he'd shoot. He's in loads of space. I mean, defensively here, Blackpool all over the place, slow to get out to him, and a fantastic finish with the left foot. Unbelievable. Obviously, I don't really care about winning this division necessarily, as Tuttle puts the ball in towards Cooney. It doesn't quite get there. Renatino picks it up, goes into Ellison. It's just weird that we've got a player called Renatino, isn't it, really? As that ball is played in, not very successfully, but the clearance, though, not that good. Tuttle then back to Andrews, and so far, the possession that we're having looks quite dangerous. It looks like Blackpool have got a job on their hands here as the header clear. Again, they can't get out right now as our centre-back Andrews plays it inside to Tuttle, whose ball forward to MacArthur's good. He's got a man inside if he can find him, but back to Tuttle, to the edge now. And again, the possession from Thames here, keeping the ball, really, really good. The cross in, Cooney, oh, he should definitely score. He's powered it into the fan of a 16-year-old fan. So that is brutal. As the highlights viewers, we're 6 minutes in, are ever plenty right now. As Tuttle's ball to Cooney again, decent. That shot, oh, on the volley, goodness me. It was like Rooney to Van Persie against Aston Villa once upon a time. That, my friends, was absolutely sensational. Really, really good finish. Thames 2, Blackpool 0. And, God, we're loving that. Tuttle ships it forward. There's Cooney, left-footed. It's a wonderful strike. Goodness gracious. And we're doing our bit. That's the important thing. You can see that Oxford are beating Exeter. Mansfield are beating Salford. I love the fact that it's giving me updates for games that have got some relevance to me, as Chesterfield lead their game as well. So all the sides, and Wrexham leading too, all the sides that you expect to win are winning. Although Oxford actually, maybe not now, as they drop down just below us. Of course, they started the day ahead of us in the league table as Barras goes for goal. We are absolutely rampant here. Exeter not only have levelled against Oxford, but have now taken a lead against them. So, yeah, they're doing us a little bit of a favour. But again, the Oxford-Wrexham duo are lurking as things stand just behind us. Of course, 46 games played in this league season. This is our 39th. We'll get 40 played today as well before the final few games of the season. We might do a 3-game special. We'll have to see how things pan out for us. But a dominant first half, really good performance. And you can see as well, playing on the front foot, that back line a little bit separated, but it doesn't really matter when you've got so much possession. Very, very pleased. Let's keep this going. Come on, the boys. This is what we need now. Thames in second position in League 2 with 7 games to go. I think it's fair to say if we don't go up now, viewers, that will be a bottle job. As it falls, it breaks, ball played in. Latham, he could have gone for goal there. Striker instincts weren't with him as MacArthur in acres of space on that side. Back to RodeNT, might go for goal. Well, he's been tackled a little bit and the ball's been lumped forward, and now it's a 2v2 situation in our defensive third. Wallace goes all the way through. Canon, oh my goodness me, he's had nothing to do all day, and then finally pulls off a save of top class ability, and it's still 2-0 Thames thanks to Royston Canon, as the corner's going to be played in, but we might as well make a drink and enjoy it. I've not got a tea today, viewers, so I'm going to have to do commentary. All right, we're still on attacking here. We probably don't need to be, as there's a free kick lofted forward. But again, we're playing with a certain speed here as Cooney picks it up. Again, just makes his way to the penalty area. Already got 1 goal to his name, and he doubles that. Theo Cooney, in the absence of Philip, in the absence of David, steps up, does the business. 2 goals for him. Thames 3, Blackpool 0. It's a lovely, lovely piece of play as well as the ball's launched forward. Great first touch from Cooney, who then slots it past the goalkeeper. A fine finish as well. 54 minutes gone here, and I think Oxford, based on the points totals, have levelled against Exeter. They have indeed. Mansfield again winning their game. The sides behind us trying to put some pressure on. Of course, if Oxford get their goal, they'll go back ahead of us in the league table, but it's very, very tight between the 3 of us, and that's what you want to see late in the season. It gets exciting. So what, Cooney's in on goal here. He's in again. Can he get another? He can't, not this time. On for the hat-trick now, of course. It's just nice. I'll tell you what, it's a contrasting atmosphere from a couple of seasons ago when I was sort of doggedly trying to just sort of survive in leagues, and now we're crushing League 2 as far as I'm concerned. Again, I don't really care about winning it, as Oxford, as you can see, have taken the lead back once again. Exeter fought bravely at the bottom of the table. They're having one of those seasons, it must feel like, for them. And it's it's not to be for them today, at least it seems like. But 2 points the gap between ourselves and Wrexham. It's a pretty fragile lead, it has to be said, but there's the end of the game then. I could have made some changes really, but Thames 3, Blackpool 0, and a really, really good effort from us. Hartlepool up next then. Can we repeat this all over again? We'll have to find out. I just saw a news article there that I sort of skipped past. We've just broken a League 2 record. You've got to remember this save has gone on for a while, or we're about to break a League 2 record. 92 yellow cards by Rotherham and 10 reds. We are battling it now with a lot of yellow cards and a lot of reds. So I don't know what it counts as. I guess it's all points based, but yeah, you know, setting trends, breaking records. That's what AFC Thames are all about. So that is that. I don't know. Should I be embarrassed? I'm kind of proud of it. All right then, folks, second game of the episode, and we've got a little bit of a, let's call it a situation. Now, we could play Butler, who's got a small injury at right back. He returns tomorrow with a tight thigh. I think we have to gamble with him at right back, move Ralph to centre back, as we've now got a suspension. Surprise, surprise. Submit Bride. Luke Bell brings himself back on. Actually, we've got a situation Arnold could play. A player that I don't play all that often, but of course was our right back for quite a long period of time. The more I realise it now, actually, Arnold, yeah, fine, play there. You have a lovely time. The rest of the side kind of picks itself. It's obviously the same side that have just played and won. I don't want to change it. Why would I change it? Here we go then, into the game against Hartlepool. Let's see. Can we get the business done? I hope so. That sounded confident, didn't it, viewers? I hope so. That was poor. They've got a player called Sanchez Sandy, which is a fantastic name. Okay then, here we go. Of course, keeping an eye on what happens elsewhere. Okay, fixture-wise, luckily we'll be updated. The game, very, very good this year. Barras, Alto Renatino, as the ball's played in again. Attacking, hopefully on the front foot. Hartlepool and mid-table side. Arguably pushing, I was going to say for the playoffs, but no, they're a little way off that really, as the header early on goes in just over a minute gone, and we have the first chance. So the dugout here will keep me updated on the sides around us and what they're doing. Of course, a win for us, huge. We need to try to stay ahead of the pack as, again, Oxford have gone behind. Oh, they're playing Chesterfield, actually. So this could be good for us. If Oxford and Chesterfield have a bit of a battle there, and I think we'd ideally like Chesterfield to win to secure our spot a little stronger, although it doesn't really matter. Speaking of securing our spot, we're 1-0 down. That's gone brilliantly well as we drop out for the first time in a long time of the automatic spots, and that now has me nervous and probably panicking. Instead of panicking, I'm going to encourage 20 minutes gone, and I'm going to trust in the boys. I think that's the best way forward. I've got to say, and I'm sure they're going to show me that again, I think he might be offside. Now, if the game is going to show me, I think his knee will be offside here. I'm just saying, I think his knee might be offside. Okay, well, it might be very, very close. Why would the game get it wrong, viewers? Why would the game give us wrong decisions intentionally? It would never happen. It happens. Ball played in. Hello? Marking? Optional? Hello? Anyone? Blimey, 6 games to go. It could not be more stressful at the top of the table. We've got a corner. Of course, we'll play it short and try and figure something out. As so far, neatly done. Played in. Back post. That's 2 headers chances we've had now as well. Maybe we should have got one of them on target, maybe? I don't know if they've been attacking is a little bit too aggressive. You know, sometimes you can overwork things. You can rush it to some degree. Going to positive, bring ourselves off that a little bit, might be the smarter move here. As Hartlepool 1, Thames 0. As we get to half-time, are we now missing? This is the first time you're going to feel it. Are we missing some of our big guns in key moments? I mean, we're playing quite well. Hartlepool are pretty deeply set. In theory, the way that we're playing, we should be able to get things done. We're going to just up our directness a little bit. We're going to up our tempo a little bit. I think we're the technically more capable sides. So let's try and play into that a little bit. Tell the boys they're unlucky. Half the game to go, and I would love to get this win. There's plenty of games to go, and I know that I play some of the weaker sides come the end of the season. So I can be a little more relaxed about it. Oxford, it should be said, are now beating Chesterfield, which means that if we were to win this game, we'd move on to 80 points and be right in the conversation. Right now, of course, though, as you can see, that's not the way it's going for us, as Hartlepool's possession right now is pretty good, and Hartlepool got very little to play for. They probably know that a win here gives them an outside chance at getting back into the playoffs, but I mean, it doesn't look very likely from where I'm sitting, as Ralph's header forwards falls back to Richmond, and it's Hartlepool who have played if they score from this, oh my word, the way it got to him was outrageous. 60 minutes gone on the clock, and do we start to change something now? Is Gabriel Jesus a serious option for us? We know he's not been so good in the attacking part of the pitch. Is there a potential here to bring him on in behind the striker? It's difficult to know what to do here. I think maybe having less, I don't think I need the ball winner necessarily here. I think maybe making RodeNT a box-to-box, having an extra body flying forwards. Tuttle is struggling a little bit. Maybe Zealand Shannon comes on to play that. I said that very casually there, like it isn't Zealand's name. I don't know. Is there another option? McKinney, maybe to come on for Barras, who's had a pretty quiet games up to now. His passing's very good. We're going to make the change. McKinney's going to come on. He loves to strike from distance, and that might be the key for us today. It's a very, very close game. I think changes have to be made. We've got to try and change the break of play a little bit as MacArthur. Back to Andrews now, and nice to see us have a bit of possession. Never mind. I was going to say possession. It's lumped forwards, and Andrews going to get that back under control, and it's whether the triangles that we've got can make something happen. Forget that. Cooney, oh, it's a brilliant save and an excellent effort. It's nice playing the intricate football sometimes, but going long, ball over the top, danger. Not quite though. This time, as it falls to the edge of the box, they clear it away, and that'll be the highlight. Wrexham are 3-0 up over Fleetwood. Of course, Fleetwood promoted with us last season, and it's a case of with 20 minutes to go, I guess we're going back to attacking here. We're going to try and have to force it a little bit, which I don't love doing, but we need a goal. A point now could be pretty big for us. So getting back in this, it has to happen sooner rather than later. Ellison to Shannon. It's a lovely work move. Ball played in. Back post. Arnold back across. Latham. Oh, my goodness me. Defending. Last-ditch stuff from Hartlepool. 10 minutes to go. Can we find the goal? We're going to go short with this corner. Once again, we worked it beautifully last time. It's a very similar move this time. Ball played in. Forced to the edge. Ellison. Back it goes. McKinney. Shot saved by Borich. Oh, my word. Hartlepool hanging on a bit. Ball played in again. Cleared this time. And Hartlepool are going to get this away. And they might even break here as well. It's a bit of a 4 4v2 situation. Ralph there. Wow, somehow wins the ball and doesn't give away a foul. Is there still a goal for us? Come on, boys. We've got a throw-in. Played into McKinney. Arnold lifts one in. Cooney's there to the back post. It's cleared away. MacArthur, left side. McKinney's there again. Oh, another header goes begging, viewers. Flipping heck. We are piling on the pressure, but the time, viewers, is ticking away, and the time has gone. And this was the game. You've got to feel it, right, that we've missed Cabbage, we've missed Ollie, and the injury hit Thames have come unstuck against the Hartlepool side that you've seen the highlights there, viewers. They have really hung on. I'm disappointed. I feel like we played pretty well. We just didn't take the chances, and that's where, especially Ollie, man, he's the guy in those circumstances, and we just couldn't find a rhythm and a goal, more importantly. So we dropped down to 4th, and now the end of the season gets very, very interesting as the results come in then. Oxford dominate Chesterfield, it turns out, in the end. Wrexham with a really good win against Fleetwood, 3-0 for them. And of course, our defeat to Hartlepool will make a lot of people happy. It's a 4-way race for those top 3 spots. And yeah, we right now are chasing. Just to come back on it though, if we take a look at our final fixtures come the end of the season, I say there are some easier, in theory, easier games to come. Let's take a look at what those are before we bring you, of course, an episode again tomorrow. Heck, viewers, that was the one, wasn't it? You win that, it gets very, very, it's even tighter than it is. We're still in it though, 6 games to go. You can see teams are capable of losing at any point in this division. Let's take a look then. The games that we've got left to play, keep an eye up here to see which position those teams are in then. So we play the 8th place side, 10th, 13th, 12th, 23rd and 24th team sides to round up the table. I think what I'll do is I'll probably play against Salford City, I'll play against Rotherham, I may even play the Kings Lynn game. I'll keep an eye on how it's looking. If it's getting tight, really tight, and yeah, there's a chance to really fall out of it or get into it, then yeah, we'll bring you those episodes, of course. Tomorrow's episode then will be something at the back end of the season. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Again, I'll play Salford, I'll play Rotherham, and then we'll see. We love with care then. For mention, until next time, take care of yourselves. Tomorrow, no matter what happens, is set to be exciting. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. At least we don't draw. We never draw. Drawing's not... Drawing? No. Don't want them.